Many of you know that the Winnebago Travado does not come with a spare tire. This is on the Ram Promaster chassis and the Winnebago build-outs, and many of the others built on Promasters do not come with a spare tire underneath the van because they're saving room for tanks. However, I have a spare tire. Many of you have asked many questions about this situation. Does it lock? And if it didn't come with a spare, what am I doing for a jack to lift the vehicle should I need to use this new tire as part of my new cool ladder assembly? We're going to answer that for you today. And many of you have asked if this is a paint job or a wrap. I'm going to get into that a little bit. Here's the punchline. It's a wrapped vehicle, a silver van. And we're going to answer two questions that have never ever been asked before. Kind of interesting questions. I got some cool answers, I think. And today it's all about answering audience friend questions. Let's jump into it. So let's talk about the tire being locked to the vehicle. Merry-go-round wants to know, is the tire locked on? The short answer is no. I do not have a lock. There is a giant thumb screw thing here that secures the tire with this in-between plate to the vehicle. There is no lock preventing somebody from spinning this off and removing it, except for it would be really tough with the bike locked. Now, I've been kind of looking at solutions, and I've been watching Jeeps at stoplights in particular because I see a lot of spare tires on the back of Jeeps and see what kind of locking mechanism they have or don't have, and I've actually seen quite a few that don't have them. And I think that this, though it's an expensive wheel and tire, $500 combination, that there's not a lot of market for this in particular, so I just don't think there's a lot of need for somebody to steal this tire when there's probably not a market. Stealing a Jeep tire would make more sense if you want to put your time and effort into that. But no, I don't have a lock. I'm looking for solutions maybe, but I'm not worried about it in general. Good question. Audience friend Karen Jones wants to know, what do you do with your bike when you open your back doors? Where do you secure it so that it is safe? And how good is the lock on the spare tire to prevent theft? Thank you, Karen, for that great question. We'll go back to the vehicle. And again, the bike is racked to, it's in its rack. It's locked to the rack. And then the rack itself is locked to the van in two different places. One here and one here. Strangely, the Winnebago team does not install locks on the very expensive bike rack. They do put one on the ladder, my old ladder. But these are mods I did. You get these from Summit Products. They're about $15. So the bike, again, is secured to the rack. The rack is secured to the vehicle. And as I described earlier, getting this tire off is going to be pretty tough for somebody if they want that tire really bad. You asked about the doors. Let me show you how this works. We'll zoom out for you. So again, the bike is racked. I'm going to open the door. Open it fully helps. There we go. My nice spider web there, can you see that? And the door opens with the bike on it, no problemo. Here's my full-size broom, love this thing. It just stays right there. And that's how that operates. So I can get into the van, get into the utility closet, bike stays on, this door stays closed, no reason to get in here. This is how I have my water stored, my grill stored. And when I'm done with whatever I need to do in here, I simply close the door with a firm shove, and that's it. Bike stays on, door gets open. Next question comes from audience friend Dan Archer. Okay, if it did not come with a spare, what about a jack? What kind of jack, and can it lift the weight of your van? Well, that's a beautiful question. It's such a great question that you guys all freaked me out. I never had looked in my van. I thought I had a glue kit for like a tire inflator glue kit. But by researching this a little bit, guess what I found? And what solution did I provide before this discovery? Let me show you this. It's pretty funny. Thinking the Promaster did not come with a jack because there was no spare tire, what it is, I went to Harbor Freight Tools and I bought a 12-ton bottle jack. So you put your thing, the rod's right here, and you jack this thing up, and this thing goes up. It's got an 18-inch clearance, which is way more than enough. Here's the ratchet wrench. Here's the fitting for the tire socket. It cost me $100 basically, $87. And I bought a star point for the back door ladder assembly, just in case I needed to tighten things up over time. So I spent a little money because I was freaked out. I realized didn't have a spare tire, didn't have a jack, so there we go. There's a nice solution. But you know what? It came with a jack. I had never unrolled this before. I always was kind of curious what this thing was in the under the bed storage, and I have a fully functioning Ram Promaster jack. This fits my existing lugs just fine. So that can be used. I kind of like my new solution because this is pretty much brute force versus using some leverage. But I do have a jack. So my curiosity is, does your Ram van come with a jack even though there's no spare tire? Maybe this is standard equipment. What's even more interesting is I thought this black thing here was the glue kit. And turns out it's an air compressor. That I didn't know I had either. And I can do the tire. I can do like a bicycle pump. I was actually gonna go buy one of these for my bike tire more than anything. And guess what? I have one. So now the question is, what would your advice be? Do I keep this or do I return that? For some reason that just looks easier and it's pretty compact. But I do have a jack, and that is new news. Thank you, audience friends, for making me do some work. And to continue on that theme just a little bit, so this is a 12-ton bottle jack. Again, it reaches a maximum height of 18 inches off the ground. So a 24,000 pound capacity. My van, fully loaded, is a little less than 9,000 pounds. And with the instructions here, we see the jack points. So either way, this one in particular is going to be able to handle the loads. I'll probably keep it just because of that. This one's probably fine, but I just think that's a little easier. So my van weighs about 8,600 pounds, fully loaded, and now I can lift it in a variety of ways. Pretty cool. Air compressor, free with a van purchase. Next question. Audience friend Free to BT asked the question, are you still thinking about putting on stripes on Lily? Now she was watching a video from 2020 at the RV Super Show. This was probably before I got the van wrapped, and I was thinking about putting stripes on. Let me zoom out for you so you can see the van in its entirety. It was a silver van, and I was going to put my name on the driver's door. I was going to put some stripes on it. In the back I had some decals, like social media logos. And the more I thought about the stripes, the more I didn't like them. I did put the logos on, but I really couldn't figure out a stripe design that I liked. And in the end, I didn't do anything with stripes. What I did instead is wrap the entire vehicle with the black silhouette, added tires, added a brush guard, lifted the vehicle, put on the new ladder just recently with the tire, and everything was blacked out. So no stripes, no changes expected with this current process or current look of the vehicle. Good question. No stripes for Lily. Miss Lily. Next question is also about the wrap, so let's talk about that quick. So audience friend Ken Kelly wants to know, does your Travado have a custom paint job or is it a wrap? Short answer, as we've talked about, it is a wrap. Let me zoom out here for you. And if we open up the doors, you can see that it is a silver van through and through. And I love the silver from the interior, but I didn't like it from the exterior because it stood out like a sore thumb everywhere I went. And it didn't look custom at all. And what I didn't want to do is paint the vehicle. It might have been cheaper, but I did not want to paint the vehicle. I want a really distinct look. So I hired CRD Wraps in Wellington, Florida. Chuck did an amazing job. This vehicle is covered with nearly 400 square feet of the brown 3M matte finish, metallic brown, which changes color throughout the day, depending on the light. And then we overlaid the silhouette with the matte black. That was installed in May of 2020. And I'm telling you, well, she needs a bath right now, Miss Lily does, but it's probably the best $5,000 I spent on the van because it's the only Travado on planet Earth that looks like this. and I'm just so thrilled. It's holding up super well, except for where I've dinged it a few times, like up here. And as part of the wrap, he took and blacked out all of the stuff that was chrome, including the plasti dip on the grill, which was chrome. And you can see some of that is coming off. I keep toying with the idea of taking a Sharpie and just hitting those spots, but then I'd have black dots on my grill, so haven't done that yet. But in general, it's a wrap. And that's a wrap for this question. Next question comes from audience friend Laura Spinner. Was watching a water video that I did on some containers, and that's a great video on water tips for the van. She wants to know, what do you do for ice? Well, that's a really simple one. It's simple because, like water, we're kind of surrounded by ice. Ice is available at grocery stores, ice is available at convenience stores, ice is available at many campgrounds. Now, many of you, I know, one couple in particular, Beyond Intentions, has an ice maker in their van. They have a Travado GL just like me. I prefer, though, not to hassle with it. I simply buy a 1 pound or a 1 bag, 7 pound bag of ice. I put it in my freezer and it lasts me nearly a month. I use it for iced water, iced coffee, and martinis. And that is how I do ice. I would personally never bother with trying to make ice in the van. You have to be stationary for it to freeze solid, and he's got to fuss with the trays. And $2.50, bag of ice, 7 pounds, lasts me nearly a month. I'm pretty good for that. Ice, baby. Our last question is kind of an interesting one. I've never been asked this question before directly, so let's answer it today. And I'm going to show you some cool photos. The question comes from audience friend Julie. She wants to know, how old are you if you were 12 when Elvis died in 1977? You must be 57 years of age. So yeah, I'm 57. I was born in July 1965. I'm a Leo. And what I want to do is just thank you for the question. Where it came from, because we did a What's Up Wednesday in August 16, I think it was. Elvis died in 1977, 45 years ago. And we had a lot of people reminiscing where they were when Elvis died. But what I want to do today is just show you some pictures of me as a young guy. I still feel pretty young, although some days I feel old. But let me just show you a few pictures of when I was just a little boy. This is my grade school. I don't even know what grade this is. Does it even say? Must have been like first grade. So there I am on the end right here. And that was little Scott Watson way back then. So a few more for you. I think it's just kind of funny. If you're not interested, you can tune out now. By the way, if we're meeting for the first time, howdy. My name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the camper van travel experience. If you like van tours, if you like van products, if you like van tips, like this video today, and you like places to take your camper van, that would be camper van travel guides. We do all that for you here, and we are just delighted to have you join us, whether you're new or a regular. Let's continue. So this is me when I was 2 years old. Mom made me a birthday cake that was in the shape of a lawnmower. So cool. Here's me at my first communion. You can see that. This was me getting ready to go to Catholic school as a young guy. Pretty cool. And to wear uniforms. Super awesome. That was very, what's the right word? Shocking when you got to a public high school after wearing a uniform for 3rd grade. Here I am in my little uniform. I have no idea how old I am. Here I am processing the, this was our confirmation, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not sure what grade I was in at that point, but there I am leading the profession, holding the crucifix. And this was me and my mom's dad. I think this was I was in high school at that point. And this picture I'm super proud of. This was my high school senior picture, and they took it at the very beginning of the year, so I had kind of grown up a little bit since this picture was taken, but I was trying to do my stylized self back then, I guess. Do I look like Elvis? I don't know. What do you think? Fortunately, I'm holding up pretty well, and I'm pretty excited about sharing a little bit of that with you. Now, many of you are kind of curious about the van and the van life experience in my family. This is my granddad and his Volkswagen camper bus. I have very, very vague memories, mostly through these pictures. Doesn't bring back a memory, but his Volkswagen camper van. He would roll into town once a year. We'd go hanging out at the park. So he and her grandma and grandpa are long gone, but fond memories of that. In fact, we did a video with my parents. My mom's now deceased, recollecting those days. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It was kind of an off-the-wall video, but really important questions. I'm getting a lot of questions about this, and because of you guys caused me to do some work, which I love, because I discovered I do have a jack for my Ram Promaster. I do have a new air compressor for my bike tires. I was gonna go buy one. And now the question is, do I keep my bottle jack or not? I probably will. It just looks more simple. And join us every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central for What's Up Wednesday. We answer your questions live, and we usually have a topic like water, tire, Elvis died, all kinds of crazy things. All to help you be a better traveler in your camper van. Until we see you soon, I wish you to journey on, and peace be with you.